Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to another action-packed, jam-packed, fully busted, bulging episode of the AfroMattt Show, featuring just your host today, AfroMattt. Guys, I'm sorry to say it, but Nick is not here. He is undergoing anal cavity surgery from the time he spent in prison last week. Because what did he do? He watched Cuties for the 15th time. So I mean, it is it is what it is. I don't know. He might not like that joke. um, but um, yeah. He'll be back here next week, hopefully in store. We're working on a little something. I'm working on putting together a little, kind of a nice little backdrop to kind of throw back there to make it look a little bit more professional. We'll have two lights set up. We're going to definitely have two mics, two lights, two mics, and two gay boys. But that being said, let's get right into the podcast. Yeah, just so you know, it's AfroMattt on YouTube, and it's the AfroMattt Show on Spotify. Guys, you already know this. And the most important thing you can do if you don't even listen to the whole episode, well, you know what? If you like the content and you like to listen, and I keep you company throughout the day, share it with a friend, mention it in passing. You know what? And maybe don't mention it to your mom or your dad, because this is the comedy we do here is not. I mean, my parents listen because they want to know how much of a failure I am, but yours might not like listening because of the things I say and the impression it might make them think about you. That being said, let's get right into the first video.
I was raped or molested as a young boy. It does not matter whether it was, you can go ahead and go if you need to. It does not matter whether it was family member or friend or stranger. It happened, and I was left to deal with it alone. Though I was raised by Christians in the church, I never felt like I could share that with anyone. I screamed to God every night that he would take away my sins and thoughts and resulting homosexual tendencies. My life kept spiraling out of control. I became a sexual addict and turned to pornography. That's okay. I'm sorry if you're uncomfortable. I just want you to hear me. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. But I became a sexual addict, turned to pornography. I thought sexual thoughts about both men and women. Started messing around with others who had similar tendencies. I fought with my siblings and my parents. The only way I knew how to survive was to perform. Perform at school, perform at work.
Okay, so this is a pilot on the American Airlines. And he's really laying it all out there. Every passenger is trying to leave, and he thought that it was a good idea to release the mental burdens from his own head, vocalize it, and forcibly make other people listen to his horrific trauma. This is honestly this is a form of torture. They're trapped in a plane. You are the bus driver. You can just choose to not let them leave until they hear out your whole story. This is the kind of guy you don't want driving your plane or flying your plane. This guy might one day decide, hey, you know what? I've had one too many bad days. I don't like my life. Everyone else in this plane is doing good. They must love their life. They're going on vacation. I'm tired of seeing smiling faces. I'm going to crash this plane directly into, wherever. This is the guy you don't want driving your plane. That being said, let's go.
Perform amongst friends and family. Every aspect of my life was filled with lies. I even started thinking of ways to end my life so that I would not hurt anyone else.
Okay, so right there, right there, he's literally telling you that he is thinking about ending his life. He will crash this plane, dude. What if one time? What if? What if the captain got on the thing? He's like, guys, this is not a hostage situation. Um, I just want you to know, call your loved ones. My life is over, and I'm flying us directly into the Atlantic right now. And if you look to your left, you'll see the skyline of the Georgia skyline. And we're cruising at about 30,000 altitude. We're going to take a slight left over at Atlantic City. We're going to take it straight into the ocean. At about 4:15, we'll all be dead. As you can see, I put on the fasten seatbelt sign. In the course of an event, when we crash into the ocean, which it eventually will because of my suicidal tendencies, I'm really thinking about pulling the trigger today. So really pay attention to those safety features when the time comes. That's the situation you're dealing with.
After high school, I moved over 1,000 miles from my home to help my grandparents. While there, I did what I knew was best, perform. I excelled in academics at the local college. I excelled at serving my grandparents. Eventually,
Dude, that's the first comment on the YouTube. I would be terrified that this pilot might be thinking about taking a nosedive. Yeah. Yeah, this is rough. Throw a few punchlines in there. You've got a Type 5 perform at Provincetown Comedy Club. I mean, dude, this is gold.
I was raped or molested as a young boy. It does not matter whether it was... You can go ahead and go if you need to. It does
Those are people leaving the plane.
not matter whether it was family member or friend or stranger. It happened, and I was left to deal with it alone. Though I was raised by
This is
Christians
so
in the
sad.
church, I never felt like I could share that with anyone. I screamed to God every night that He would take away my sins and thoughts and resulting homosexual tendencies.
I mean, he's troubled and he needs to find help. He should not be flying a plane. If I heard that, imagine he started the plane like that, and the whole plane ride you're like on the edge of your seat. Like you could not do any. You couldn't read a book. You'd be thinking like, my pilot just told me he wants to kill himself. You'd be on edge. Like, just take a freaking Xanny and hope for the best. Just pass the fuck out. All right. Let's move on to our next topic. Now, this is kind of going to be the topic of the whole, the rest of the podcast, maybe, because it's a big deal. It's a big deal. If you'll notice that I'm wearing a robe, and it's because I'm chilling at my house, and it is about 11 p.m. at night. I have to work at 7 a.m. in the morning, and after I edit this video, upload it, I will be thoroughly ready to take a nosedive myself. But that being said, I am wearing Black History Month, because the only time I can wear it is inside, because if I wear it outside, I might get killed. Not racist, just... Okay, let's go. Okay, so this is the storyline is the the Pandora Papers. So if you don't know what the Pandora Papers are, I mean, I feel like it's the vaccine. If you care, this type of stuff is the vaccine, right? If you haven't gotten the vaccine yet, you probably aren't going to get the vaccine. And if you don't know what the Pandora Papers are, you probably don't care. The Pandora Papers are pretty important because it might be, hopefully, kind of another awakening moment for many people. I mean, I knew all this was already happening. I mean, anyone with a brain knows all this was already happening. But this might be another awakening moment, much like the Jeffrey Epstein situation a few years ago when he... was unalived by maybe our own government, maybe his co-conspirators, maybe, just maybe, Hillary Clinton herself. But we will, the Pandora Papers are a collection. Let me just have the video tell you.
For years, some of the world's richest people have hidden their wealth in prominent offshore tax havens in places like the Bahamas or Belize. Now, a new investigation reveals the involvement that the United States and prominent world leaders have in the secretive world.
There are 1,001 different ways to describe a tax haven. It's generally considered as a country or a jurisdiction
where you can put your money and avoid paying taxes where you made your money.
A team of reporters from the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, The Washington Post, and hundreds of reporters around the world unearthed secrets from millions of documents. The Pandora Papers show how the ultra-rich and powerful move their money around the globe. It is the largest collaboration of journalists ever organized by the ICIJ.
We have
Alrighty, so that's pretty much the lowdown. That's the hot and sticky. That's the big sweat of the Pandora's Papers. That's the rundown. Essentially, a group of journalists have gotten together and they've leaked 12 terabytes. And if that doesn't mean anything to you, a terabyte is... So my computer right now has... So, okay. I'm trying to think of this, how to put it into layman's term. Okay, so your iPhone probably has like 128 gigabytes, right? And that's all your pictures, that's all your apps. And you've never ran out, right? You've probably never had to, in 2021 or 2022, you know, phones are big enough now that you probably haven't had to uninstall an app to make room for a new one, or get rid of endless pictures of your feet to make room for more OnlyFans videos. You probably haven't had to do that, right? That's 120 gigabytes. Now 500 gigabytes is half a terabyte, right? So let's say, for instance, 4 of your phones full of content is half of a terabyte, right? So 12 terabytes of documents and videos, audio, spreadsheets, slideshows, 12 terabytes of information, which is, okay, so let's see. So let's just, for easy math, five of your phones equals half a terabyte. So 10 phones equals 1 terabyte. So 10 times 12 is 120 phones of content. If I did that math wrong, I feel like I did, but I'm probably pretty retarded. So I think that's right. Either way, the Pandora Papers. So let me read a little bit. This is the BBC News. That's Big Black Cock Network. Let's see. Pandora Papers, a simple guide to the Pandora Papers leak. Do I have any water? I have to take a sip real quick. All right. The Pandora Papers is a leak of almost 12 billion documents that revealed hidden wealth, tax avoidance, and in some cases money laundering by some of the world's rich and powerful. More than 600 journalists in the 117 countries have been trawling through files of 14 sources for months, finding the stories that have been published this week. The data, blah, 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 blah. What was uncovered? The owners of more than 150 or 1,500 UK properties bought using offshore firms. The Quarty ruling family has avoided $18 million in tax on London's supermansion. Sir Philip and Lady Green went to the property spree after offloading the BHS retail chain, which went on to collapse. The prominent Tory donor who has been involved in one of the European's biggest corruption scandals. The King of Jordan's $70 million spending spree on the properties of UK and US. The Azerbaijan's leading family hidden involvement in property leads to... Hey, come here, cat. What are you doing? Get down. You're ruining my production. Sorry. Sit down. Okay. The Czech Prime Minister's failure to declare offshore investment company. How the family of Kenya President Aru Kenyatta secretly owned a network of offshore companies for decades. And many more. So what does this mean? Now you might be asking, what does this mean? This means that, and this shouldn't be news to anyone, right? This means that the richest people on the planet are rightly, and not rightly so, but understandably so, hiding their money, right? Because you've got to hide. Rich people want to stay rich, right? Like poor people want to be rich, right? Poor people want to eat the rich. Rich people want to hide their money, right? Because they want to stay rich and they want their family to stay rich and they want to never have to worry about a single thing ever, right? So the Pandora Papers, so it was 2.9 terabytes with 12 million documents. Okay, so I got that flipped. My bad. Still, 2 terabytes is massive. So, what my main question is, what, like this is kind of big news, right? Oh wait, 1,000 gigabytes is 1 terabyte. Okay, my math was off. So 1,000 gigabytes. So your phone is, say 100, right? 100 gigabytes is your phone. So 10 of your phones equals 1 terabyte. So this was 20, almost 30 iPhones completely full of, videos and stuff like this about how people hide their money. But back to what I was saying, what would be honestly enough? What is the cutoff line for what people care about, right? Because while people have money offshores, and it's unfair, right? Jeffrey Epstein had a literal island designed and specifically oriented to let rich people and use them as blackmail. Let rich people have their way with his clientele, right? His employees, which were underage girls and probably boys, to be honest. And use that as blackmail to control and get, deals made with his, whoever is in bed, whoever he's in bed with at the time, or whoever pays him the most. Now, if that isn't a problem to you, then offshore money laundering, it probably isn't, right? If Jeffrey Epstein's island didn't raise a red flag for you, now I don't understand why. So there was like crazy riots, right, after George Floyd got sat on, and murdered, right? which was egregious, and I feel like I have to say that every time because I feel like I'm going to get a brick thrown through my window. A Molotov cocktail is going to fly through my window if I don't say rest in peace George Floyd. Rest in peace George Floyd. I'm a black-owned business. But what was I saying? How unprofessional. So George Floyd, black-owned business. Oh, yeah. So just like how George Floyd, there was crazy riots, they were burning shit down, right? They were lighting, the Krispy Kremes on fire because there's not a million Krispy Kremes, right? That you burn down a couple 7-Elevens, you loot a Target, you bust open a Walmart, and you clean out a Best Buy. These are the this is what happens. That all should have happened when we heard that there should have been riots in the street when it came out that Alex Jones was right about there being an actual island that people would fly on a private jet. You know, that captain's probably the pilot that played I've been raped, I've been touched, I've been gaped by every person on this plane. So you fly over to the island specifically designed to be a paradise for sexual offense, right? Now this video might not stay up because YouTube might take it down because these are some heavy topics. But if that didn't cause riots, an actual island specifically designed to really abuse people, right, and create trauma for the wealthy, if that didn't raise any red flags, I doubt that anyone will. The Pandora Papers, you need something big. You need something really big to get people excited right now, right? The Pandora Papers, it's like, okay, yeah, everyone knows money's going there. It's like everyone knows the rich are scamming the system somehow, right? You hear Jeff Bezos didn't pay anything on taxes, and everyone's like, yeah, that makes sense. He's rich. Rich people don't pay taxes. Like, that's kind of how I think about it, right? It's like, yeah, rich people don't pay taxes. They've somehow earned the right to not pay taxes by being so rich. It's really funny. I mean, rich people are so rich. The bank literally is like, you're so rich, good job, we're paying you money because you have so much money. I have so little money in the place that they charge me for like withdrawals, right? They're like, hey, you don't have enough money in here, stop. And then if you have so much money, they're like, hey, cool, nice, keep more money in, you're doing a good job, here's more money. They could literally take the money they're giving to them, put it to me, and then no one would have a problem. But then we're talking about socialism, and socialism never works. And look, I'm sure there's a lot of smart people here on this planet. There's got to be a new system for running a government. It can't just be communism, dictatorship, socialism, democracy, republic. You can't just be one of those. There has to be a new thing. We're in the 21st century. Everyone's hopefully read a book, right? There's got to be some sort of middle ground. I'm thinking, hear me out, we take monks, because monks have no earthly possessions, right? And religion is a very, very important thing to a society's success. You have to have a religion in order for people to stay motivated and not want to shoot themselves or shoot their friends or shoot they have to cling on to something, right? Whether that be astrology, something I'm about to show you, alpha male, or if that is the woke movement. That's your religion, really. In a true sense, that's your religion. If you're marching down the streets, that's your church, right? If you're going to the Black Lives Matter, that's your church, right? Conversely, if you're going to a Klan meeting, that's your church. Your religion is hating black people, right? And if you're a Black Lives movement, your religion is justice for all, right? It's all cults. Everyone's a cult, right? It's important. People need it. It's built into our blood, right? We've had religion since everything. So my religion is shitting on things, right? I shit on everything. I'm a pessimist, and I was born this way, right? I came out of the womb and said, is it too late to be aborted, right? I mean, I tried to hang myself with my own umbilical cord. If that's not proof enough for you that I'm a born pessimist, I don't know what is. But, yeah. So everyone needs a religion. And because everyone needs a religion, right? We put a monk as president, or we put several monks. They have no earthly possession. They're based off of pretty good principles, which is like Buddhism, which is like, I feel like a golden rule, like do unto others, good karma, shit like that. Just put them as president. They make the decisions, and we're okay with it because they're monks. Monkism or something, right? That's got to be a good system, right? They've been doing like Shaolin monks for like 50,000 years. It's got to be a good system. You don't hear about a Shaolin monk. You don't hear a monk have an island of, groping little boys. The Shaolin temple is a temple of priests, and there is not a single case of, priest molestation. Meanwhile, let me bring up this news article. Catholic priest. Here it is. How Catholic... Oh, here it is. Dude, I hate the news things that pop up with the... with, like, the... subscribe to our newsletter in order to read this. Okay. More than 200,000 children in France abused by Catholic priests report fines. And you probably didn't hear about this. This came out 5 days ago. I haven't heard a single thing about this. And no one's talking about it because no one likes to talk about things unless... No one likes to talk about depressing things unless it makes you feel like a good person to talk about it. In this case, it doesn't really make anyone feel good, right? But it's only fun to talk about depressing shit when it's COVID and it's a nice big death counter counting up to infinity. Ooh, don't we all just want that number to reach? I want to tell you I'm so right. I was right. You should have got vaccinated. You should have got that vaccine. Look at that number. It's slowly ticking up. Look, CNN just told us 15 more people just got killed because of COVID, and you killed them. On the same flip side of that coin, right? I'm Matty B coin flips. You have the death counter ticking up, and the unvaccinated people saying, "Look, y'all got your vaccines, and it ain't working. People are still dying. We're still dying. Look." Numbers kind of going lower now. We're going lower, and I don't got my vaccine. It's working. It's not. I don't need it. Why do I need it if you got it? Right? Look, I don't care what you do. Everyone is retarded. We are surrounded by retards, right? And if you're listening to this podcast and you share it with someone, it means that they are not retarded, right? If you listen to... That's the title of the podcast. If you listen, you're not retarded. So about the Pandora Papers. Man. So at work, I wanted to tell this story. This is my story time for the episode. I was talking to this man. Let's call him Paul. It's not his name, but we'll call him Paul. And he's this old man. I call every now and then. I usually call him once a month to kind of check in and see how he's doing on his home buying process, right? That's my script. But this time, and he usually talks for a long time, he's an older gentleman, his wife's passed on, it's him alone, so he likes the company of talking to someone, so our conversations usually stray from real estate into, just, we start talking about COVID, and he starts ranting, and this time it got extremely, I mean, he is red-pilled, right? So he's like, after all the news, I mean, there's building up to a civil war. There's going to be a civil war. And when they start taking up arms, I'm going to join them. I'm a military man myself. Thank you for your service. I'm a military man myself, and I hope they put a rifle in my arm when the war starts. So this guy's like red-pilled and ready. And it's a pretty good... Now, I'm not making any of this up, too. It was a shock to me, too. But... he's just one person, right? And the fact that I say this about a lot of things, but it's kind of like the hotel rule, right? If you've done it in a hotel, it's already been done, right? You know, if you jacked off into the Bible, it's been done. Someone's done it already, right? They've replaced a Bible before. You've done it, right? If you've licked the carpet, someone else has licked the carpet. You can't do something in a hotel room that's undone. It's all been done. Shit on the sofa. It's been done in the hotel room, right? So the fact that he is like that means that there's other Americans that are like teeming, ready for a civil war. And speaking with him actually gave me anxiety. Like I get anxiety sometimes, but it was like bad. I'm like, do I need to buy a gun now? And do I need to be ready to protect myself and, you know, my property? I'm like and the way he was building it up, he seems legit. Like he's ready to shoot some, you know, libtards. But I don't know. God, just talking with him, and he's telling me all this shit. He's like, yeah, they're just trying to take away our rights. And I'm like, yeah, man, they are. I'm just really firing him up. I'm like getting him to a fever pitch. And he's like, I'm ready to kill. Get me in there. Get a gun in my hand. And I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, did you hear about the Pandora Papers? He's like, what's that? So even someone so based and red-pilled didn't know what the Pandora Papers are. Now, this kind of just goes to show that no one really cares about the Pandora Papers because no one cared about Jeffrey Epstein. The case is still, where is Ghislaine Maxwell? She's in custody. What's going on with her? No one knows. No one cares. There should be a ticker on how many days since Jeffrey Epstein killed himself till there's justice for Ghislaine. Justice for Ghislaine. Free Ghislaine. Imagine someone went so opposite. They're like, free Ghislaine. She didn't do anything. Oh, God. All right. Let's wind down this podcast. Let's go into some funny videos.
When I think about my dad growing up,
All right. So this is a documentary that has been in the filming process for COVID. And the star of the show, the name of the show, the main protagonist of the show is none other than Dr. You know his name, Dr. Anthony Fauci. Here we go.
when I think about my dad growing up, I certainly think about that seriousness. But very few people get to see. He's funny, weird, and really playful.
God help us.
That's...
In 1981, HIV/AIDS was evolving rapidly and frighteningly. There was anger at the government's response.
When you got sick, you were gone fast.
It's affecting you now.
Yeah,
Why?
post-traumatic stress syndrome.
When COVID hit, he became this target.
My dad said, we're gonna get through this whole thing, and he's held that.
You don't do it because you want to make money. You don't do it for the glory. You do it because you care.
When you're involved in a race to stop a horrible disease, you always feel you're not doing things quickly enough.
You always feel like you're not doing things quickly enough, so I made a documentary with National Geographic. Now, if that statement right there raised any red flags for you, that's the reason I'm playing this video. Anthony Fauci has had a crew around him at all times, like a Jake Paul, Logan Paul brother, for all of COVID, and we just didn't know because he's been working on a little documentary that's gonna go on Disney Plus, streaming October 6th. Oh, it's out. It's out already. Cool. Yo, watch this, guys. Yo, guys, go check out this. This podcast was actually brought to you in part by Disney Plus. Check out Fauci, the new documentary on how Fauci's a really, really cool guy, and he's really not corrupt at all, and he's actually a really cool guy. You know, Tim Dillon made a good point, and I don't want to quote Tim Dillon all the time, but I do align with some of the things he says, and this thing that he said is quite profound, because he said that there is a alternate timeline Fauci that said no to a documentary, right? They asked him to go do a documentary, and he said, there's an alternate Fauci where he said, no, I'm busy. There's a global pandemic, and it's my job to help guide us through it. No, sorry. Thank you for your offer, Disney Plus, but no, I'm busy. My job's on the line. Lives are on the line. The United States of America, my namesake, is on the line, right? There's a version of Fauci that said no to a documentary, and then there's a version of Fauci that we live in, which is, I've often said, the darkest timeline. And this version of Fauci said yes, and not only did he say yes, he said, you know what? Cancel my 5 o'clock with President Joe Biden. I've got to do an interview with Disney Plus real quick. You know, get my agent on the phone. Yeah, I can be there. I just got to I got to shuffle some things around. I've got a vaccination meeting at 4 with a bunch of African children, but you know what? You're right. It is good publicity, and it's going to be a really epic doc. So you're right. I'll be there. You know, that's the type of Fauci that we have. We live in the darkest timeline. I've said it before. I stand by it. I just think it's good. Fauci, the documentary. Watch it, guys. Go check it out. Go watch it. It's out. It's out now. Okay, now let's get into some of these TikToks.
This helicopter dropping ping pong balls into a forest? The answer has to do with what's inside the ping pong balls. They're filled with 2 chemicals, potassium permanganate and glycol, which release a huge amount of energy when they react, and this reaction easily ignites the ping pong ball. This reaction is useful because it allows forest firefighters to burn away brush to help bring forest fires under control in hard-to-reach areas. Helicopters outfitted with the ball dispensers fly low to the ground and inject the balls with glycol just before dropping them to the surface. Seconds later, they burst into flame and ignite the surrounding area. How cool is that? Why is this helicopter dropping?
So, I know he explained that video, but I still don't understand it. In California, they're dropping dropping ping pong balls full of a chemical reaction that, when dropped, ignite the surrounding area to reduce the forest fire. I don't understand it. I thought it was interesting. I bring interesting things to the table, and you let it sit, linger, fester in your mind, and you do what you file it how you wish, right? Our brain's kind of a filing cabinet. Put that back in there, and the next time someone says, "Hey, did you hear that people are leaving California because their houses are burning down?" You can say, "Oh, no, you don't understand. You're so stupid." Tell your friend this. You're so stupid. They're purposely burning it down. They're dropping ping pong balls full of chemicals, and they're burning it down to reduce the forest fires. You're so dumb. You're so fucking stupid. You can't burn down a forest that's already on fire. They're burning the trees so that they can't be burned. Are you retarded? You tell your friend this. Are you retarded? Are you mentally challenged? it's just a thought. Just tell your friend that the next time they bring up a forest fire in California. If you have any friends in California, I have a couple people that I know in California. I'm gonna call them up and tell them, hey, have you burned down your backyard yet? Oh, you haven't? Oh, you're in bad luck. Yeah, you're about to get rolled. Let's move along to another one. This is a cool dude.
I call this bad boy just.
Oh, actually, I should preface this with this guy. I didn't explain what this guy is. This guy's YouTube channel is called, oh Christ. This is called Alpha M Dot. So this guy's, it stands for alpha male, and he's the most alpha of alpha men. His whole channel is dedicated to being an alpha male. Fitness. Here's the intro. Style. Grooming. Fitness. Alpha male. Style, grooming.
Sigma? Now there's a Sigma? What the is Sigma? What's up, gentlemen? So today we are talking about the newest addition to the social hierarchy pyramid, which is the elusive Sigma male. Am I really talking about this? So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run through these 15 traits of the Sigma male. I'll let you follow along, decide whether or not it's you, or if it's not, I don't care. But what I do care about after I'm done is telling you what you need to know and what you need to do to be alpha, sigma, or even beta. I guess technically nobody wants to be a beta. I'm gonna tell you what not to do in order to not be a beta. All right, number one, the Sigma male tends to be a loner. You're gonna hear a lot about the lone wolf, right? That already sounds sexy and like something I'd like to do. Number two, they're flexible. Number three, they are themselves, they're themselves regardless of who's watching, meaning that you don't bullshit people to try and make yourself better than you are. Which potential to be alpha, out to me when I did all my research about this like Sigma male thing is that
just skipping forward a little bit because it gets a little bit better. Here we go. This is when it gets good.
You need in order to be all the things issue with.
This is him. Okay, this is him explaining what is important to him about an alpha, being so alpha.
About brand names, they don't care about what they wear. And this is something that I have an issue with. And the reason I have an issue with is because I know for a fact that it doesn't matter how amazing you are. If you're not taking pride in your appearance, it doesn't matter how badass Sigma you are not gonna have the opportunities that you need in order to be all the things that a Sigma is supposed to be. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to look good and look sexy, right? You gotta take care of your grooming because if you're whack and you stink, people aren't gonna wanna hang out with you. No wonder you're a lone wolf. The other thing is your style. Gentlemen, people form opinions about you in the first 3 seconds upon meeting you. And if you want to have the most opportunities
scam coming in 3
you possibly can, you've got to pay attention to your style. Your clothes need to be good. Your accessories need to be straight. You see what happened there? Exactly. I threw these bad boys on. You're like, yo, alpha. Maybe that's what they were talking about in terms of a Sigma can become an alpha if he rocks enemy shades. Gentlemen, if you want to check out the baddest ass, most affordable, amazing sunglasses out there on the market, period, hit the link down below. Go check out enemy. These are...
That being said, guys, let me just get my glasses out. You know what I hate about betas? I hate betas so much. I hate betas so much because their only sole purpose is to be stepped on. They're a stepping stone onto you getting what you want. And you know what? These glasses help them, not see my eyes when I'm telling them to go, that they're fired, or that I'm pulling them over, or when I'm telling them that, they're to kill themselves. I don't feel pain, and they can't see that I don't feel pain through these glasses. They're communication blocking glasses, and they add a bunch of swag, and you need swag, and you need style in order to be an alpha male so people respect you. Come on, what are you doing? And let me describe a little bit more what style is. Here's how to be a bad boy.
I call this bad boy just badass. It's clean, it's simple, but it's an incredible way to still be casual and cool without going like over the top. We still have the Incredible Cuts hoodie as the base layer. I went with the
Incredible Cuts, sick plug. He's going with the bomber jacket leather over the hoodie. So he's got leather jacket, always badass. If I see a guy in a leather jacket, I say, I become not only a beta, I become a zeta, and I want to just kill myself in front of them. I want to blow my brains out.
leather bomber jacket. The jeans, I'm going with the gray. You could also go blue jeans, and then I'm kicking it with a pair of black Chelsea boots.
And that's how you rock the bad boy style. Now, the only person I know who's more bad boy than that. Actually, we'll watch a couple more.
This is day 1 of calling out David Dobrik to hit with me. This is day 2, day 5, this is day 11, day 17, 100 days now, 128 days, 135 days now, day 200, 265, 365, 400, 420, and today is day 475 of trying to play tennis with David. TikTok, if you want to see this match, make sure you tag David in the comments. And David, I'll look forward to seeing you at the courts.
This is a depressing video. This video, if you want to show someone what TikTok's all about, and I just took my glasses off. It's so bright in here. If you want to show someone what TikTok's all about, or I mean, this kind of just encapsulates everything TikTok is. This man's just trying so hard at a shot, at a single chance, at a millisecond to play tennis with David Dobrik, and that's all he wants. That's all he wants. And he makes a TikTok every day. He's dedicated. If he dedicated this much to anything in the world, he would achieve it. If he wanted to, date a porn star, he could text them every day and probably have more success at this. This is his life, is David Dobrik.
This is day 1 of calling out David Dobrik to hit with me. This is day 2, day 5, this is day 11, day 17, 100 days now.
I've realized, I've said this before, but our economy is a lottery-based economy, right? We live on a fiat currency. There's no backing. We have no gold. There's no gold standard. The only way to make money, right, is to be a lucky person at the right place, right time. And I know this by experience. Right place, right time, right stock, right crypto, right? Those are the only ways to make real money, right? You always hear about the guy, oh, I put $100 in Bitcoin when it was 5 cents, or whatever, and now I'm a multimillionaire. There's always one of those dudes, and they were at the right place, right time, and now they're a millionaire, generational wealth, and now they can reinvest that money and do it again, get lucky again. The more money you have, the more lottery tickets you can buy with these shit coins, right? They're all 1 cent lottery coins, lottery tickets, and you can buy 50,000 of them and hope, and if one wins, they all win, right? And kind of really the only way that you can, if you're in California, I think I said this it may have been a title, but in California it's a Mr. Beast based economy, right? You're homeless until David Dobrik drives by and gives you a Tesla, right? That's your really only hope out there, is David Dobrik giving you a Tesla or winning $500,000 from Mr. Beast as a normal person. The government doesn't give you money. Your only hope is that, honestly, David Dobrik and Mr. Beast should be government funded, right? They should just start doing Squid Games for the unfortunate. That's kind of really, honestly, what Mr. Beast is doing. Squid Games. Wow. That was actually crazy. And I got my Squid Game plug in there, so now I can put in the title and get an extra view. But yeah, this is just sad. This video is just sad.
128 days, 135 days now. Day 200, 265, 365, 400, 420, and today is day 475 of trying to play tennis with David. TikTok, if you want to see this match, make sure you tag David in the comments. And David, I'll look forward to seeing you at the courts.
I'm sorry, dude. It's L. Just L. Alright, here we go. Let's watch 2 more.
And it got in the car and pulled.
This is from Young Thug's song called
And it got in the car.
Die Slow.
Pulled off doing it like 60 miles per hour, ran my mom over. She had a stroke and shit, but she alright. Yeah. I always knew I wasn't gonna be gay.
There it is. I'm gonna read these because it's kind of hard to understand what he's saying.
And it got in the car.
Got in the car and pulled off doing like 60 miles per hour. Ran my mom over.
She had a stroke and shit.
She had a stroke and shit, but she aight. Yeah.
I always knew I wasn't gonna be gay.
I always knew I wasn't gonna be gay. That's one of those lyrics that just hits different. You know, maybe people were right that music has fallen off. You know, I've been listening to a lot of Frank Sinatra recently, and you know, Bing Crosby, and you know, I really think that I don't think that Frank Sinatra has ever okay. Yeah, we gotta end this podcast. I'm falling asleep here. Okay. If I'm falling asleep, I can imagine what the viewers are.
How we doing?
Okay, this is perking me up a little bit. Here we go.
In there. All right. I've got another shout out going out. This.
Oh.
Shout out going out. This goes out to all my queens.
Ah. That's me.
Big-breasted.
Oh.
Middle-breasted. Little-breasted. You guys are all beautiful. All of you.
Hey, body positivity.
Every one of you.
Everyone.
You need to take and put a nice bathing suit on.
Oh.
And take off and go down to the lake and show that bikini bottom. Show that beautiful body of yours.
Yeah.
Let them know that you are beautiful. You guys are all beautiful. Every one of you. You guys have a beautiful day. My queens and my kings. Get out there and enjoy the day. I love you all. Keep up the good work with the videos. I love them. Very beautiful. Especially I love the ones where you show off your bikini body. You guys are beautiful. I love you guys. Have a good day.
That is how I'm going to end the episode. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much because you got a beautiful body. And I really like that you stayed for the rest of the podcast. And if you made it this far, I want you to know that I like the videos you've been sending over at the AfroMattt Show at gmail.com. That's the AfroMattt Show at gmail.com. That's AfroMattt with 3 T's. 2 T's was taken. I love your body. And I love when you send those videos. Thanks for listening.